Okay, for the website redesign assignment, basically what I would like you to do is look for a website on the internet that needs some help, and then use your creative ideas and come up with a better layout for that website. In this case, I have a website that I found about wine tasting, and as I was searching the internet, surfing for wine, I found this one, and I thought, wow, this might be a good example of what we could do to redesign a website. And so in this case, this is a nonprofit, and most nonprofits, are either done by somebody who's part of the organization, or somebody who's probably a non-professional, so that they can do it rather inexpensively. So some of the things I liked about this site was, the colors weren't too bad. I did come up with some new color schemes. The photography is very nice. The buttons were a little confusing in some points. I don't like the domain name, the AAWTS. I don't know. Can you imagine trying? You're at an event and you say, "Oh yeah, I have this group of wine people that like wine," and if you go to aawts.org, you can find more information, and nobody's going to remember that. So that's some of the things that I would write down in my proposal. Is what kind of name you might give if it's a bad domain name, what kind of colors you might use, how you might change the navigation. Some of the things I don't like is there's no rollover effect on the buttons here. The logo is kind of generic and doesn't really tell me, this is a group of people who love wine and things like that. So I might probably, in this case, I would redesign a logo that sort of had maybe some people and maybe some wine glasses in it. I don't know, maybe some silhouettes of people and stuff. I do like the photography. It's very nice. People smiling and stuff. They do have a Facebook link here, but it's kind of, it doesn't really tell me too much. What I would probably do is have a Facebook link with the little pictures of the people on them, who have recently posted, and when you click on it, it goes to the people who are part of this group. You've probably seen that before on websites. So I'll probably add more Facebook information, more social media to this. This is, again, a society or a group of people who like wine, and so right now I think what this main page is not necessarily lacking in layout, but more of content that really needs more social media, maybe some links to YouTube and Twitter maybe, and things like that. So that's sort of what I would probably add to a new layout for this. First thing I did was sort of take a screenshot. Again, I'm working on a Windows computer, so I just hit the print screen key on the keyboard and went into Photoshop and went under File, New, and hit OK, and then Paste, just so I had an original copy of their layout. The other thing is there's a lot of reading on grids and things like that. If you are in Photoshop and you want to see how grids are kind of laid out on your page, what I would do is probably put some guidelines in. If you're using Photoshop, there's guidelines as well as in Illustrator and some of the other applications. If you go underneath View Rulers, okay, it'll bring up these rulers that are along the edge of whatever you paste or do inside of Photoshop. And then you could put your cursor inside the ruler and drag down. This would be called a guideline. So I usually build guidelines in designs as I am working, so that I could see how the different pieces of a layout kind of line up. I'm just putting guidelines sort of to the edge of the most common pieces of this website. And so there's a lot of reading this week on grids and how to use grids, just by organizing and seeing how the content is laid out would really help you. And so that's what I did and with this one. And if I go to back to the web page for a moment, I made some comments as I was looking at it, what I would change and things like that. So, and they do have a footer down below here. So the next thing I did was sort of go and think about other colors. Again, a great place to go would be color. What was it? Site Designer. Was it Site? I was already at the page.